flat for them as a whole. What did you notice in their game that he's still improving that would push him up through the ranks today?
Yeah, I think they got bullied a lot at Austin. I think that they played like too slow and they ran out of time in some instances, and I didn't feel like they were really doing much with their slow play. Which again, when you looked at Luminosity when they first started off last year in CS seasons, they like played really slow, but they didn't really accomplish anything when they were playing slow. Like they weren't taking map control
Push him up through the ranks
very well.
today.
It almost seemed like they were just playing slow for the sake of playing slow and waiting it out and trying to hope for something, but they weren't really proactive. And then slowly but surely over the course of the last few months, they've really developed their defaults a lot better. They now actually know how to take map control. They're on the same page a bit more. They seem more proactive. So they were really like making progress in how they wanted to play the game. But at Austin, it's almost like they reverted back to like playing scared out and trying to hope for something. I think they got bullied a lot in that tournament. And then in the heroic but surely, I think that they actually did kind of find their footing a bit better. They actually were really competitive on one of the matches in that series against heroic quality teams. So that was they were really like making progress in how they. But then they got crushed. But at Austin, it's almost like they reverted back to like playing scared. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing was they didn't really play their game. They didn't really get comfortable. Their players weren't really popping off in the same way. Almost seemed like the same kind of like jitters that you would expect rookies to have in an offline environment. So yeah, I think that definitely played a lot into it.
Now, LG have had the, I guess, slight advantage of playing today as a team. They played in the minor qualifiers, and they beat Rush 16-3 on Train. Not a caliber team like SK, but perhaps having a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of team chem before another match may come into an advantage. Speaking of advantage, you guys can have the advantage over your opponents if you enter the giveaway. Awesome, cool computer up for grabs. One lucky person valued over 2,000. It comes with everything you see on screen, including a mouse pad. Not a caliber SUBARU putting that together. And even if you don't win the computer, there's still 250 mouse pads to be given away to other people, which is pretty neat. Speaking of advantage, you guys can have the advantage over your opponents if you enter the giveaway.
Definitely cool to see SUBARU stepping in. Definitely, not like an endemic sponsor or something like that. Definitely kind of
comes with everything you see on screen,
kind of an outside
including a mouse pad.
Making their first forays in esports. I think that they've done a really good job of just kind of like making the product authentic, just kind of letting us do our thing,
to other people,
putting trust in the community, but just supporting it with something. And hopefully we'll see them around more often. They're definitely looking for your feedback, so if you want to shoot them a tweet over at SUBARU_USA, let them know what you think about the tournament, what they can do to improve, or what other things they can do. Like what else would you like to see SUBARU do in the esports space? They're certainly open to hearing what the community has to say. So yeah, definitely give them a shout. Tell them what you think. As hopefully we'll get started with this game pretty soon. We had to change servers real quick, so that is what's holding us up. But we're in a new server now, and we have all the players in, so just waiting for them to already up, or what other things they can do. Like what else would you
jump into this one? So I guess what we've kind of built up this mountain that LG have to climb, and I guess to summarize the mountain is LG have to play absolutely lights out. Everyone has to hit their shots. They stick to the game plan, and they have to catch SK at a bad day. Is that all fair to summarize? That
yeah,
it's kind of David and Goliath.
Especially given these maps, like these are two of SK's best maps right now with their current vibe.
So I guess
Cash, the pick from Luminosity, might be a pick for them, but also been really good for SK.
And I guess to summarize the mountain is LG have to play absolutely lights out. Everyone has to hit their shots. They stick to the game plan, and they have to catch SK at a bad day. Is that all fair to summarize? That
yeah, with these maps. And given SK's recent form at Summit and at IEM Sydney,
so I guess
it would just take kind of a colossal mishap from SK to
LG have to play absolutely lights out. Everyone has to hit their shots. They stick to the game plan.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
Is that all fair to summarize? So here's to watch for LG. Personally, I think Showtime. He's hit or miss, but I think if he's on the ball, LG's kind of at another level where they have that just raw talent that Showtime can bring. We saw it there in the Rush game previously. Well, we didn't see it, but if you watch HLTV, you saw Showtime, I think, it's dropped over a 30 bomb. So he does have the talent. It just all has to come together. SK, I mean, every single player is so individually talented. Anyone can go off at any moment. So LG as a whole have to go off. But I personally am going to keep my eye on Showtime to see what kind of crazy stuff he does. And also shit that Showtime can bring.
SK man for man has
we saw it there in the Rush game previously. Well, we didn't see it, but if you watch HLTV, you saw Showtime, I think, it's dropped over a 30 bomb.
I think if you do if you did some type of calculation where you just said overall firepower when I add up all 5 players on the team, maybe there's some players out there who are
His
going
will
to
have
be
to go
better
off,
than a guy
but I
on
personally
SK
would be fine with
individually
Showtime. We'll see what
to a
kind of
degree.
crazy stuff he does.
But when you just
SK
add all 5, I think SK is like the most
we
well-rounded.
saw it there in the rush game previously.
Like when Fallen's on point, the AWP is one of the best operators in the world. Like Fur has been in incredible form lately. Coldzera continues to be the best player in the world. You know, Phelps, when he's on point, you know how great he can be. And then Taco has been fine. You know what I mean? Like his only crime is that he's on a team with guys like Cold and Fur who have been insane. So, yeah, that's why he doesn't get talked about as much, is because of kind of the other star power on the team. But yeah, the complete package of SK is definitely one of the best in the world right now. If they can keep getting results like Sydney, they will become the best team in the world again very soon.
See, they still have to get over that menace that's Astralis, who still looms over everybody. And
That's
FaZe
quickly
is on the
fading
up and up,
though,
so.
as Astralis is starting to not win titles anymore, and SK won a big one in Sydney. So if they can keep making deep runs, I mean, I don't think they're too far off from Astralis at this point.
It's a possibility. They're getting back into it. And we're going to be in towards Cash, SKLG. About to go at it. A bunch of group of buddies that are no longer friends when they're in the server fragging out. I bet they are still friends, but they're enemies, at least in this game right now. SK, they're going to buy up. And we're going to jump right into this one. LG on the T side.
We'll see what LG wants to do on their pistol round as we see them setting up for like a boost on the red box inside garage, just trying to get an angle to see if anyone's actually pushing up aggressively from SK. Make sure that their close corners are cleared. As Showtime actually did get a pick off the Coldzera over on the B side of the map, so not a bad way to kick things off.
Taco peek in towards A main. He's going to spot that's empty while Showtime. That's another kill. That's Phelps down towards the B. Fallen's going to be quick to rotate with his USP, and he'll get shut down. That's 3 kills for Showtime. Absolutely demolishing SK towards the B side of the map, who granted all took solo peeks on the B side. Taco's now pushing out of A main, while Fur is stuck on truck. LG have done a great job of finding these entries and not taking a scratch themselves.
Yeah, really well played, especially Showtime just picking up on Cold right off the bat, and then follows it up with a couple of more kills, and really just unlocks the B bomb site for Luminosity. So definitely a good way to start if you're the underdogs, to go ahead and get that pistol round victory, get that money built up early, hopefully, as long as you don't fall prey to some type of force later.
So it leaves it all on top. He is just going to play for exit. So LG are going to have this one in the bag. And Taco's just going to play for some frags for himself. LG will pick up the pistol. And, I mean, that's first swing coming out from the LG boys to start to poke and prod away at SK.
Yeah, again, really just off the back of a big individual effort from Showtime over on the B side of the map. Really is all that is talked about in that round. As we will see SK going ahead and buying up a bit here. Taco has already got the UMP armor. And we are going to see some upgraded pistols and armor coming around that as well. So definitely going to buy up all that they can in this round, not being conservative about it at all. You do see some teams actually have gone back to being like really low bot on second round to make sure they get a nice full buy in the fourth. So that does come up, but it's very common to see things like this from SK.
And the typical UMP going to try to do some damage as LG, they just settle in across the map. Bomb is outside A main. They have one player holding squeakies, so nothing too dangerous or risky coming in from LG, while SK, they'll settle in with just a player shoulder peeking mid, 2 on A, 2 on B, hoping that one of these LG members takes a little bit of a solo trip and drops an AK.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Luminosity's bread and butter, right? They open up this way a vast majority of the time. They're very default-oriented, so you see PKL playing door, Showtime at B. Everyone else is working A main, maybe boosted mid, just trying to get information. Playing it very cautiously, and they do already pick up a kill there on the Taco over on the A side of the map, so definitely great way to kick things off in the second round. Just making sure you don't get, ecoed or force bot against. Want to get that 3-0 start. They are looking to collect over here towards the A-bomb, so everyone is basically here. Nice hot flash, though, for Fur to peek into the door, gets a kill and picks up an AK for his troubles. This makes things dangerous now. Good clear, though, from Destiny.
Yeah, good read that he would be facing from there. And they actually double peek him. So Destiny finds the frag. That's the AK that could have dealt massive amounts of damage on the floor. They'll pick it up. So all AKs picked up. Phelps from truck with his CZ. He's going to try to fight back into the side. He already spot Shiz. And it looks like Cold and Phelps, they're just going to play the exit game once again. Try to carry the armor and pistols in the next round. LG playing it safe with the default. but it's working out so far against SK.
Yeah, this is a big kill from Destiny to clear out Ferg, because obviously when Ferg pushes in the door, gets a kill, picks up an AK, he can be like the thorn in your side for the rest of the round if he's able to stay alive and hold angles and just spray you down as you try to push into the site. But Destiny, handles it very efficiently, doesn't allow him any more breathing room, and that was how Luminosity just made sure that wasn't going to get him any trouble. And again, we talked about how this new SK can kind of be a lot more aggressive now, because not only do you have Fur, but you also have Phelps. And Cache is one of those maps that I think it's the easiest to play aggressive on CT side. Like, pop flashing A main's very low risk in comparison to other aggressive maneuvers you can make as a CT on other maps. And obviously, getting aggressive at B lobby is also a thing. So I think that once the guns come in SK's hands and they have the utility, that's whenever Luminosity playing a slow default might run into a lot of trouble, because they will just lose control of A main or B lobby by aggressive SK pushes. So that's something to think about when we get into the later parts of this round.
Well, this round should be pretty cut and dry. Just USPs and 1 P250, so I mean, it should go LG's way. Even PKL just picking up a Mac 10 and no utility whatsoever. Just gonna try to optimize his buy, try to frag out, get some money on his board. As LG just waiting. You can see Fallen just toying with him towards mid, now towards Squeaky. PKL gets spotted. But interesting enough, SK is kind of playing a similar setup to what they do normally, with just pistols. I mean, I'm surprised they're not pushing anything.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a trap set at middle, maybe trying to bait people in with Fallen at highway so that Phelps can kind of jump out and grab someone off guard. And they have a really lean towards the A bomb site. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a gamble taking place, but nothing too crazy. We're going to take range fights from Chuck with the USP as Taco. He actually gets a dink in. Almost finds Destiny as well. He almost had 2 kills there, but doesn't quite find the mark. Fur, though, uses it as a chance to get an assist. And the frag has 2 kills for Fur. He's still alive. He has a Mac 10 now. It's a little bit scary.
Jeez, this is getting tagged too. He's almost out of bullets. He'll drop to Cold Zero. And Showtime's going to try to hold this weapon, as Cold is just going to shoulder peek this out and take him down. That shoulder peek was disgusting to find the dink, then the full swing to find the frag. And look at Yell's HP. He's down to 32. One well-placed bullet from Cold Zero will put Yell down. This is extremely doable.
Yeah, this is insane that Luminosity might lose a round to basically nothing bought. Taco did so much damage with that USP early on at A. I think great work from Cold at middle. And now he does spot Yell as well. He knows exactly where he is. But he misses the shot, or at least Yell's a bit faster. So Yell saves the day, but that got way too close for comfort.
I don't even know if the spray and celebration was needed. Maybe that was a upset celebration.
That was more of a sigh of relief celebration, because there's no way SK should have got that close to winning the round, yet somehow it came down to a 1v1, so definitely a crazy round, but Luminosity do hold off. But now SK are fully bought up. Not crazy on utility, but they still do have some, and this is where it's going to get a lot more difficult for Luminosity to find room to work with. And here we're talking about the aggression already from SK. They've already peeked A main and cleared it and backed off. Now they're doing a boost. PKL's probably too far away to hear this, so they're probably not going to know that he's up there.
Yeah, this buy includes a glass cannon op on Fallen. So that goes to show you how confident Fallen is and his team in his ability right now, who's really, Fallen's back, man. Fallen is back in form.
Yeah, that's what Sydney kind of proved, I think, is that Fallen's AWP seemed back in good shape. Good news for SK, because he was a vital part of their success. Not only as an in-game leader, but as an opera that could really have a presence.
Jeez, look at him. He's going to jump on the rail to look over the smoke. He doesn't get spotted. Destiny doesn't see him either. But he's still going to try this. As he's just messing around with that smoke on the rail towards Z. Destiny's going to go ahead and drop down. And that, just as the smoke fades, Fallen sees the angle, and he'll get the opening pick for SK. And they still have no clue that there's a boosted player here. So SK, they're set up beautifully for this round as Fallen rotates back towards A site.
Looks like it's going to be a B hit, though, from Luminosity. You see that bomb launch just shuffling over with Yell to meet up with Showtime and Sunrise. So PKL is maybe looking to hold people in place, maybe sell that there's still some presence in A main that they may still be thinking about in A execute, but in reality, it's going to be on Phelps' and Cold's shoulders to hold off this B execute.
Oh, Phelps is going to move in towards Snacks.
Good read from him.
Yeah, he has great timing on this. Question is Yell going to clear it? He spots the head on the player's sight first and goes for that shot, which allows that player in Snacks to strike, and he pushes through the smoke into B main. PKL's not ready for it. Look at the timer. You called this. They're playing very slow, and it's going to come back to bite them as they try to bully their way into the site. But Phelps and Snacks, what a hard read. You mentioned it, and he just plays that corner beautifully, stops him from getting the site, and just mows him down.
Yeah, I mean, SK started to pick on the fact that nothing was really happening at A, and that the chance of it being a late B hit was really high. And so you saw that smoke go down on main. You saw Phelps tuck into the corner and play a little bit of a crossfire with Cold there inside the site, to where all that they really had to worry about was either someone pushing through smoke, which Cole could get the jump on that guy, and then someone coming out of checkers, which Phelps had the angle on. So really good bait and switch and teamwork play there from Cole and Phelps inside the site. Just kind of reading the round, doing the late round smoke, setting up for that. And even though Luminosity had the 3-round winning streak, because that round was so close previously, they're actually just on Deagles and upgraded pistols and P250s, but Destiny does get the 1 Deagle on the first, so catching that aggression early on is definitely a nice way to at least get an early advantage, despite the fact that, I mean, it's still going to be an uphill battle, right? You don't have any armor, you don't have any utility. This should still be a mop-up for SK, even with 4.
A double ops in play, too. Taco is going to be playing by truck. Phelps, from the look of it, is playing E-Box, so that's an interesting angle to hold Squeaky. While Taco can just peek and wait for anyone to peek out of A main. Yell, in the meantime, going to try to challenge mid. Fallen spots the shoulder peek, unable to land the shot. LG, very determined to make this slow default work across the map, as they're going to do it with pistols, too.
It's like Luminosity is trying to work their man advantage here over towards the A side of the map. They're actually haven't really broke into A. They don't have a smoke to cross with, so it's going to be so hard to get by Phelps and company.
Phelps just going to stand on Toxic now. She's going to take the peek. He'll fall, and it's just going to be a mop-up while falling, worries about mid. So 3-2. And now the test comes out from LG. They're going to get a buy here, I imagine? No? Okay. It's a bit of an awkward situation. So, I mean, due to the UMP being how valuable as it is right now, that could have been a way he leaned to. Instead, it's going to be a Tech 9 with a smoke and a couple flashes. So it's not the greatest of buys, and without having as much utility, it hampers their slow default.
Yeah, it basically limits your options of doing fakes because you don't have enough utility to throw a fake and then go for something a little bit later on in the round elsewhere. So pretty much whatever execute you want to go for, you have to go for it with what utility you have. And then it also limits the utility you have to hold off retakes. So definitely can harm you quite a lot to not have, you know, more utility at your disposal. But at least they have head armor and AKs across everyone else, so at least that gives them a fighting chance in one-on-one duels. But look at this, Fur already taking A main control, has the smoke down deep, can really hold on to this. And when you're in your default and you can't even get into A main, this feels so suffocating if you're Luminosity. And they'll kind of just start bypassing by trying to put a lot more presence at middle.
Yeah, he's done that before, too. I think he's going to keep doing it until he continuously gets punished. Fallen's just going to play behind the smoke, kind of be the ears of the team right now. He hears Vent broken, Yell, considering pushing up into it, eats a little bit of nade damage for his troubles. As Fallen immediately just shuffles back towards Truck to help out towards A, where Destiny gets himself white box. So LG fight for mid control. They use a little bit of utility, which leaves him with 3 flashes and a smoke. And the bomb's just going to head towards outside A main. So LG might be given a false sense of security with this mid control.
Yeah, the only thing that's vulnerable now for SK, though, is B, because Fallen's been able to shuffle and watch their highway, and they still have good positions to hold A main, and then Fur can maybe even have an off angle on someone peeking out a door. So they're still well set up for an A hit, despite the fact that they've lost full mid control.
Towards B, we'll get the opener towards Cold, and he's going to try to fully commit to find the second player. He knows how much they love to double up into towards the site.
This is
and
great.
That flash sells it. Yeah. Oh my, Taco doesn't even clear boost. Taco gets 3. Destiny comes up a little late up highway. If he was there a second earlier, he would have cleared that. Look at the time again, 6 seconds. So Showtime does work towards B, but Destiny a little slow on coming up highway, doesn't spot that shroud boost, and Taco will punish him for it. Gets 3, and now we're all tied up at 3s apiece. At least an op gets retrieved from LG, but that's a minor victory.
Yeah, LG was doing everything right except for running out of time and not checking the boost. I mean, they got mid control. Showtime did great to put pressure on B and hold off rotations. So that was really going well for them. The problem is that they ran out of time to clear everything, and so they didn't clear boost, and that was like the one thing that could counter everything else that they were doing. You know, like, maybe if they came up heavier up highway, that's like a great counter to the boost is coming up highway, but they didn't really have that. So that was one thing they were lacking, but everything else actually going really well. Again, it's just the clock was their worst enemy, and not being able to handle Taco. And so now it's tied up from SK's side. They've been able to win the last 3 rounds in a row, and they had Luminosity again on very low money, except for the op that Showtime was able to save from the previous round. So means SK has a lot of momentum and a huge advantage in a round like this one, as Fallen will get up close on middle.
He's under boost with that UMP, hoping someone comes over. Shiz this time is going to be able to get A main control comfortably, as they have PKL close door. Fur gets himself back quad. He's Fallen in mid in the meantime, catches Showtime, who got boosted. That was the op. So that was the only deadly piece of weaponry they had. And Yell's going to try to refrag it down to 23. So LG kind of in a sinking ship right now with a ton of holes.
They've already taken a lot of damage by losing Showtime and Yell going down so low. And again, this is a round where you couldn't expect much. They didn't really have any armor, so aim punch was always going to be a problem. And any duel that they took, it was going to have to just come down to really fine precision, which is able to find one kill there. And that's really going to be all that goes in their favor as SK are starting to build up quite the economy because they're winning some clean rounds. That round they only lost one. A couple of rounds ago, they only lost one as well. So, a lot of these rounds, they're coming out with 4 players alive, except for that one round that came down to a 2v1. So, AWP is now a real factor. They still have money in the bank. And so this is where Luminosity are going to be fighting a huge uphill battle.
Fur's going to be, speaking of banks, he's going to be another little mini bank for SK. Had the money to go for the M4, we'll just stick it out with the UMP. As LG settle back into their normal positions across the map. Showtime in mid with a UMP. This time not going to apply as much pressure as we're used to seeing thus far in this match. I think he threw a flash or something and just fell back. PKL towards Squeaky. As SK with these double ops going to do a little bit of spam towards Squeaky. It's a minute 25 ticks on the clock, and looks like LG are getting ready to explode as soon as they gain a main control.
Yeah, they want to just do something heavy-handed out Squeaky, which is kind of rare on full gun rounds, but they're going to try their damnedest. But Fur holding the corner, great UMP skills, get those headshots, slow things down. The LG do still take the site, though, and they're going to be able to get the bomb planted, but they're low on utility to hold off retakes. Meanwhile, plenty of nades for SK to incendiary quad, and just do different things to flush people out of position.
Phelps going to do his best from truck. Flashbang just going to miss. LG still have 2 mollies. Yell's going to be top catwalk. He has no utility, so he's just going to be a turret. This forklift will get mollied off. A response molly from LG. And a lot of times ticking away. SK got to go, and they're going to go soon. They're waiting for Fallen to come through a main. Cleans up that pressure while a secondary op. Cold finds Yell, and it's all on Destiny. 1v3. Clock's ticking, and no shots will connect. And they will have plenty of time for Phelps to pick this up.
Actually, that was kind of a nail-biter.
It was close.
Came down to the last couple of seconds on that defuse, and that was kind of the thing that the double op almost became a handicap for SK, because retaking with 2 AWPs can definitely be tricky. And that was actually a pretty good Molotov that got laid out on truck at just the right time to slow things down just a tad, but still the ops did ring out from SK, and they do find their way to the site, so it's going to be 5-3. Luckily, Luminosity with that bomb plant and the loss bonus that's now maxed out is going to give them enough money to get a full buy here, because basically with the bomb plant and the full max, that's like what, $4,200. So still plenty of money to get AKs and utility across the board.
Jogo wants to throw the nade, not ready for them to be that close and personal. They ran through the flash that initially got thrown from SK when they shoulder peeked it. Not ready for that player to be pushed up box. PKL, he's mullied off towards Squeaky, but he has that presence. The door's open. He doesn't have to worry about reopening it himself. So LG get the opener, and we'll see how they work with it. I mean, the bomb is just mid-main, just hanging out. So LG get the opener, and they immediately just pump on the brakes to the Subaru and just slow things down. No reason for them to push forward. And this time, time's not really their enemy in this situation. They have tons of time from when they got the opening pick to slow things down. And you can see how committed they are to doing this by pulling PK out of Squeaky, as Fur feels pressure to go for a peek. Doesn't get a frag, but at least tons of info granted his way.
We are going to see them putting that smoke out on middle, looking to really get into this A bomb site, but look at this. Fur and Fawn looking to play up close in the smoke. Fur could definitely cause a lot of havoc with that M4, and he does. Slows things down, but it gets traded pretty nicely by Shiz. They can still start breaking into this A bomb site.
Fallen playing single box, getting shot from behind. Still able to clean up that frag before he goes down. Showtime could have put him down way earlier and kept Shiz alive. Instead, it's only going to be a one-man advantage. Showtime from Highway will trade out Phelps immediately, and it's all on Cole, the 1v2. He knows where Showtime is. He jumps up, but just as he does, he sneaks through a smoke. No scope won't come out in time. Showtime puts him down. LG, it was close. They got the opening pick, but they just used their numbers to their advantage as they push into the site.
Yeah, team ace there from Luminosity, actually. Everyone pitched in on that round, and I think that the key kill was actually Shiz trading out Fur right away, because Fur got a kill when was backpedaling in the quad and was going to be able to get a good position and buy a lot of time, but he was definitely well traded. The limiting Fallout to 1 kill is no easy task. Yeah, triple op, definitely kind of weird. That's
SK
something you see every day. Yeah. Interesting. So basically, you have an op everywhere on the map. A, mid, and B.
can't get away from it.
Oh, you're going to get op no matter where you go, unless they miss.
I guess they're banking on LG not being able to handle the op presence everywhere. I'm assuming that's.
This also makes retaking super tricky if you're SK.
Ooh. That peek from Showtime was dirty. Old Zero got baited completely. The shoulder peek from Showtime to spot him out, then the hard crouch peek. And that's an opener now for LG. And again, they get the opening pick, and they just stop. They make noise. They make the CTs make the play to counter it. And that was Fur. He tried to make the counter play towards mid to bring it back. And this round's all LG as they're finding picks towards B and mid. Looking really good for them right now.
Yeah, it's just the fruits of their labors of playing very disciplined CS. I mean, like you said, just getting a pick and then waiting for the CTs to scramble and then picking up on any little push that they try to do to try to even the odds. And so really well handled by Luminosity. This is a brilliant round for them. And then that last round was also quite good. So this is a great response for them to actually tie this game back up pretty early on. Nice stuff.
No saving for Fallen. And Taco has some time to kill before he can be safe and sound with his op. And SK don't have too much money. No do LG, but they feel comfortable hunting for this, and rightfully so. Yell splatters the brains of Taco in the single
situation. So that has to be maybe looming over Luminosity, that they almost let a round like this get by them. But they already have the opening pick this round. Showtime, again, getting that opening pick on Cold Zero over at the B side of the map. May find Phelps as well. They got into a bit of a skirmish, and Phelps goes down to 32, but for now, he still stands.
He's just going to sit back checkers under vent, hope and pray that someone's going to re-peek him into his crosshair placement. Waits out the molly, and now going to press forward. Chiz is here with him. There's a minute 10 on the clock as the bomb's going to work towards B. So SK go for an ace stack. Phelps is alone. And if he even gets a kill here, I mean, it's a drop gun. It's something on the floor. As Phelps, all five are about to come around this corner. Chiz is going to be able to find Phelps, and they're going to go into the site. So they throw their smokes. They deal with Phelps, who is playing the box with a deagle. And out go LG as they're going to get the site for free. SK with no armor, couple P250s, and a USP to try to at least find exit frags. This round is too far gone. They gambled, and unfortunately, Boris didn't give them the right number. Or Joris. Oh, I butchered the joke, Dust.
Okay.
Man.
Still have a lot more CS to find good memes. Throw them in there. Good reference games. There's still plenty of rounds, plenty of opportunities to nail it.
I won't let you down next time.
We will see. We will see. As this round is going to go to Luminosity with ease. Again, that was a round where Luminosity didn't really have too much stake into it. But next round, they certainly will be able to start buying things up and start challenging a bit more. As this indeed was Luminosity's map pick. So SUBARU not too shabby of a start considering the competition they're up against.
And most importantly, they're LG. Keep 5 alive. I mean, their money's going to get pushed up. It's going to be 6-5 SK. The triple op really did hurt their economy. May have seemed like a good idea. The double op was working well, but they go right into the triple op, and you can see how kind of down the line it's kind of crumbled and hurt them on this buy. Although that was quite a while ago, it has an effect. It might have been possibly some armor on these pistols. But
look at this
LG
change of pace from LG. I haven't seen this yet. Just everyone's at B right now. Like they just want to gather up and go. But look at Phelps getting aggressive. They're gonna.
What?
Oh man, this is some pretty. Oh wow.
That's
LG
depressing.
reading that like a book. That was gonna be so sick. But LG catches on to it right away. Knows that they might have to deal with something like that. And look at this. Round's already over. SK just will save these 3 guns because money is so low on this team right now. That really just all came down to one aggressive maneuver from SK that gets absolutely spotted out and dealt with.
Yeah, they know how aggressive Phelps likes to be towards the B site. And that was such a heads-up play for Cold to come through and go for that kind of boost as well. But it had potential to be legendary, to be a play that would be remembered for the Invitational for a little bit. Unfortunately, it gets snuffed out by LG. Who, I mean, in their own respect.
Is really kind of the max you can hope for.
Couple hours on the front page, smile at it, and it goes away. As SK are taking some odd peeks while they're trying to save.
Yeah, would agree. Luckily, Fur isn't really in any. Well, he tried to pick up the AWP, but gets absolutely wrecked. So yeah, nothing gets saved by SK, and so they will force up. Okay.
Interesting.
Alrighty then.
So, I mean, they'll have max loss. I think they're buying next round too.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of their guys definitely made sure they didn't go too crazy. Particularly Phelps only has a CZ armor, so he's still gonna have a pretty good amount of money. Actually, Fallen will as well have a decent amount, but definitely still pretty heavy-handed considering the situation.
For pushing in A main, he's done this countless times, but this smoke is just in A main enough for him to just sit here and play the perfect angle if they come around the corner. But Destiny's not playing any games. He knows Fur likes to either go for the early push or the late push with a flash, and Destiny just plays it completely safe. Safety first, kids, and clean up Fur. So now SK are man down. LG just spread out across the map, and now the pressure's all on SK to do something, and they don't have much to really work with.
Oh, not at all. You still have that scout in Fallen's hands. We know how deadly Fallen can be with the scout. Probably one of the best scouters in the game. Really can hit those headshots and you know, make it scary, as he does get that hit onto Yell. He's down to 29 HP, so Yell actually has to back down, and also low health on Destiny. So there's a couple people out there bleeding out that are like the scout can be like the assist master weapon, right? Like you hit people down, and that means that your your pistol's gonna have an easier time finishing them off if he doesn't just hit the clean headshot. So definitely some people that have been softened up as the execute starts to pour in.
Molly's going to force Taco out, and he's going to flash and go through this. The UMP is about to come flying through the smoke for Taco. He gets the first, can't turn around in time, and Cold Zero can. He gets 3 from sight. Taco and Cold working together beautifully there to send one through the smoke, and the other plays default. And Fallen spot Showtime, the last remaining member, and time is not working in Showtime's favor. He has 20 seconds, and Cold's just going to pick up an AK and challenge. 4K for him to just lock out LG.
Yeah, Cold just holding it down inside the A-bomb side with the UMP. Again, some good work done by Fallen to find some chip damage with the scout to kind of lighten the load on how many bullets that Cold had to fit in there to find the frags. And Taco also doing a pretty good job serving as a distraction, pushing through that smoke to free up Cold even more. So great team play by SK, making something out of nothing as far as what their buy was. And so now they're right back on the heels of Luminosity to maybe tie this thing up 7-all. They have a nice, comfortable buy in this round. They picked up a couple of AKs, so they'll be able to save money in that regard. You have to worry about the reset, obviously. If Luminosity wins this, it's 8-6, and the SK have no money. And so that means, like, Luminosity will have an easier time finding a 9th. But not out of the woods just yet. And that's keeping this half very close when Phelps wins a key duel against Showtime.
So this time SK get the opener. We'll see how LG respond. Normally in these rifle rounds, it's been LG finding the first frag. Looks like Destiny's going to throw a molly. It's going to land right at first feet. Alexa just smoke it out immediately and fall back towards quad. Actually, he's going to sit in the smoke for a bit while Taco tries to help him out with some utility of his own. DKL's tagged, and he's actually shooting through the wall. That's very brave of him on 11 HP. Taco will reply with a couple bullets of his own. He'll live on 2, but find a frag. So SK are now 2 men up, as LG seem very one-sided in this round. I think SK have a good read on that.
Yeah, I mean, SK have definitely done well to win some of these initial duels, but now we're going to see LG trying to follow up with what they have left. They have a smoke wall, sort of, to try to waltz their way into the site, but there's still Taco here on the forklift who can still, you know, pose a real big problem. It gets cleared out, but Fur anchoring in the site, still able to find the frag. And LG, though, trading pretty nicely. They're still a man down, and they're running out of time to clear into the site before this rotation sets in from SK. And Fallen has been spotted, but cannot get the kill as Shiz. And that's it. That's the end of the round. 7-all. SK just kind of always stay a man ahead. Even when LG started getting some frags, they never let them kind of tilt the balance of the round. Just trading really well.
Now, this half is still considered a win, I think, for LG. T-side, their map pick can still end 8-7. There's been some interesting buys from SK that have led the hand to LG. But then there's also the round where nothing at all dropped 4 players. So we've gone from default LG getting shut down early to LG making it interesting, bringing it close. Has Fallen. First time we've seen that peak from him, and it will pay off. And it's a good time to use it.
It also just shows how big it was for Luminosity to win the pistol round, right? They didn't have 3-0 start. It's kind of the difference between them like keeping a very close game or like SK having you know, really solid leaks. They've actually been fairly dominant when they've had guns in their hands. As that indeed was a nice opening pick from Fallen. Again, the aggression at A main from SK, whether it be Fur with the rifle or now Fallen with the AWP, has definitely really hurt Luminosity's groove when it comes to trying to establish their default. And now Fur will just hold this.
Yeah, LG really like having at least one dude keeping presence in there. And then SK just locked it out from the deep mollies from the opening picks to Fur continuing to hold it. I mean, Showtime's had success finding these picks towards B before, and we'll see if he can do it again as there's 50 seconds on the clock. PKL will find an entry towards A. He's done great work towards Squeaky. Phelps catches, Showtime dropping. As this is getting awkward, Shiz, in the meantime, going to open up the A side even more. Showtime just being a real big nuisance. SK don't feel comfortable rotating, and they really can't. It's all on Fallen.
Yeah, Showtime's done well to hold these people in place and really just make it difficult for Fallen. Great entry work from Shiz and company across the board here on the A side. They will get this bomb planted. Obviously, last round SK will go for this, but they have 2 up against 4 of Luminosity. Do have kits that gives them a little bit of extra time to work things out, but they're not finding anything here as Yell has a great angle on the Phelps. And now it's all on Cold, and there's really not much for him to play his way back into the round. So it should be Luminosity taking the lead 8-7. So really well played. Again, good entry work at A, but also Showtime, kind of the unsung hero, just by, holding people in place on the other side of the map.
A very big part of LG's success when they go towards A. Both spots Yell, but the call comes through and Shiz just going to take the swing. So 8-7. And if they pick a pistol, they're going to be looking really good in the CT side. We saw both teams pick up utility from the first pistol. SK picked up the 3-0 first. But we'll see if LG is going to give it away. And speaking of giving it away, I kind of did that on purpose, if you couldn't tell by my awkward transition. SUBARU is doing a massive giveaway. Valued over $2,000 is his PC setup, which includes everything you need to game, from Logitech gear to ASUS monitors to the PC itself. You'll see a banner below. If you click on it, you'll see the rig down there and a little nice graphic. Click it, enter, and give yourselves a chance to frag with the best. And maybe one day you'll be on stream yourself, fragging out with the best of them.
Also, there's no need to type exclamation point giveaway in chat. It's just got to click the graphic down below. Yep. I promise it won't help you. As I say that, obviously a flood of exclamation point giveaways in chat. Never letting me down as Twitch. That is for sure. This is our third best of 3 of the tournament, so we just have this one and one more, right? Yeah, one more after this, and that'll settle the quarterfinals. Yeah. As, of course, the rest of the matches will be tomorrow. The 2 semifinals and the grand finals will be tomorrow. Give you a heads up on that, as we are now getting live with the second pistol round. Of course, it was LG who won the first one and got the 3-0 start, and that's how they're kind of hanging around in this game, to be honest.
Nothing too crazy from SK. Fallen being that utility guy, as SK sent bomb and one player Squeaky. Phelps playing the anti-flash in A main, while Fallen will be the man to take the lead and throw the smoke into Molly. They're getting ready to go full-blown A. Shiz is going to try to get himself the fence. Yell is on site, and he's able to actually find 2, looking for more, but a jumping Fallen. Leapfrogging around the corner. Someone played Frogger as a kid. Going to be able to find that frag, and now we're in a 3v3.
Luminosity trying to set up from the retake. They have 2 players coming from Chuck, and one's actually flanking around Squeaky door. Now, the door is obviously open because SK put a lot of numbers out of that, so that's what he's kind of banking on, trying to see if he can't sneak in. KL slides over the forklift, but gets caught by Phelps. Now it's all on Destiny coming through the door, but he's going to get stuck in a really difficult crossfire. Battling his way in, but Fallen finishes him off, and that's going to be a round for SK as they will tie the game right back up 8-all.
Big 3K from Fallen, not only being the utility man to clear out quad, but also jumping around default first. And I think that's actually a calculated move from SK, where they send Fallen after he throws his utility in first, because he's the man without armor, and he just comes out huge, getting 3 kills there.
Yeah, again, like pushing through Hedora with pistols, like closing the distance so fast can be really hard to handle for CT. So that's why a lot of times you see people playing retake on the A-bomb site, and just kind of trying to stay at range with USPs. As we do see Showtime on a deco round from Luminosity. Everyone getting a deagle on this round, as well as some of them getting armor. Yell not. Destiny the only guy with head armor. They do find the first kill on the round, and Destiny looking for a little bit more there as he tries to peek in, but isn't going to find it. As there has been a lot of focus by SK on trying to brute force their way through here.
Now, Molly's going to force Showtime off. We can see the bombs transitioning back towards A. And keep an eye on this player. That's Yell, who's pushed out of A main. Fallen has to deal with him, and he will catch him jumping and clean him up in the end. So LG applying pressure across the map, trying to find a quick flank of these players B, as SK just transitioned back out. And, well, in quick succession, the last frags will fall. SK, they'll pick up a clean round, only losing 1 member. No harm, really no foul. As LG are going to have to take another save. Possibly a pistol coming out on Showtime if he wishes, but other than that, SK are looking to farm up with these SMGs, as Fallen has the lone AK to support him out.
Yeah, that just really came off the back of Taco having some good timing on his peak Squeaky door. I mean, he kind of heard the rotation happening out the A bomb site, kind of catches someone in the back. There was a push through A main, but Fallen was able to deal with it, and that just opened up the A bomb site. So that's just kind of SK kind of like slowing down, playing smart, finding their way back into the round. They do so, and now we have basically a full save out of Luminosity, as we do see them just pushing all across the map. Again, Taco pushing door, you got guys pushing into B, Coldzera leading that charge with the UMP, having no trouble stamping out people, as this should be a 10th round for SK now.
Shiz finds one and almost is able to find Fur. One headshot would have done it, and now he's kind of stuck, but Taco's going to get him out of that tough place. So double digits for SK. They'll hold on to the AK. I doubt we'll see upgrades from these UMPs, just due to how nice they are to have them go forward in your default. Though everyone else will be hanging back with the AKs, and the SMGs go forward, I imagine.
Yep, so we'll see what SK wants to do now that they know they're going to be up against a full buy from Luminosity, as it looks like they are going to open up fairly default. The one difference is Fallen taking his AWP over towards B, which obviously he's going to move all across the map, so it's no surprise that he'll definitely shift his positioning quite a lot. Taco's actually come off a door pretty early, though, and they really seem to be shifting heavily towards B right off the bat. Maybe just trying to see if they can't put these UMPs to use, you know, letting Taco try to be kind of an entry man with it alongside Fur, try to take some close range fights, just close the distance, see if they can't get the most out of those UMPs.
Fur's going to go ahead and molly towards checkers while Taco slowly walks forward. Taco's going to be the first man to take contact. LG with zero information elsewhere across the map. They haven't peeked anything, and now they know what's happening as the smokes come raining in. Mollies as well. Showtime stuck back sight. Destiny taking shots. Doesn't even get a chance to fire his bullet or see a member of SK. And Showtime has so much to do and can't find anything. He has one frag before he falls. Rotations get mowed down as Yell, just like that, is the last remaining member of LG.
Yeah, just good utility usage by SK to kind of flush people out of position on the site. Also, that was really smart. We saw that from Fur. When he walked up A ramp, he didn't just walk up A ramp to the site and risk, you know, getting stuck in a crossfire, or having to worry about a guy to his left and a guy inside the site. He kind of played in front of the default boxes and still limited his fight only to having to deal with the guy on the left. That's just kind of smart maneuvering by Fur to make sure he's not going to get, you know, wrecked by close range battles from multiple angles, and just clears out B swiftly. So there you have it. SK going to go up to 11. You see Yell trying to save this AWP, but SK is on the hunt. They will peek him with multiple players. So saving this is going to be a really difficult task, and it will not happen. So there you have it. No gun save by Luminosity, and SK have won all 4 rounds in the half.
And now LG are going to be in a rough spot. Can just buy some pistols, maybe a little bit of utility behind this. But SK should... Well, I never want to count out pistols, Dust. I tend to, but then I get reminded that we live in a pistol verse.
Yeah, definitely can be really difficult to deal with. There's been a lot of call for their power to be turned down just a bit, but definitely still so much advantage here for SK. We do see Coldzera lurking over here towards the B-bomb site, trying to take a fight over the checkers. Does a little bit of damage here to Showtime. Also, in the meantime, Fur has taken full mid control with a couple of picks. Good response from Shiz to get one. Almost got a second, but SK having no trouble kind of gathering things back together.
Yell just got CZ'd as he shoots all 12 bullets to the head of Fur, and they do the typical CZ dance, where they just outline your target. So 12-8 buy coming out from LG now, include an op and all the goodies they need to succeed with utility and everything else around it. What else are we looking at here? I mean, the op's still out on Fallen, AKs for everyone else, and imagine SK, they can switch the pace at a change of a dime, and it looks like that's going to be the call. They're going to head back towards B. So I was seeing if they're going to fall on the default, but no, they're going to keep the pressure going.
Yeah, indeed. Again, we talk about how SK can play CS so many different ways. They can play slow defaults, they can play fast mid control, and they can do these heavy-handed executes with just a crap load of utility. And it's really make it difficult to find spots to hold inside the B site when you have smokes going up everywhere, you have Molotovs landing everywhere inside the site, so you can't play behind anything. And it definitely can be really difficult to deal with. But you see SK, they've actually backed down off of it. They threw their smoke wall on B, and they've definitely pulled the rotation that they wanted. They have 2 guys in B, and they've drifted PKL over as well. But now that they've thrown that, they've actually now just kind of held up, trying to see if maybe they can catch something at middle. Looks like they do want to go for a bit of mid control as well now.
Playing the gap of the smoke beautifully. First 2 shots land exactly where he wants them to. Taco will fall and hit the dirt. Destiny One Molly will flush him out. It's not going to get used towards back checkers. So Destiny's in a strong spot if it goes uncleared instead of a wide swing on the contact and the noise made. And Showtime, again, has to go off as his players playing first. Oranges unscopes at an unfavorable time. A great flash. But now he has to try to reposition. PKL in sight, though, out of bullets. And almost out of time as rotations come through, leaving it all on Yell. 3 HP on Cold Zera. As Yell is in a 1v2. Fallen spots him. Gonna just fall back. And what a heads-up play from Fallen not to face this.
Yeah, actually just runs the bomb all the way to the A-bomb site. And so Yell actually going to have to backpedal all the way back through terrorist spawn. May have been a fake, though. Looks like Fallen's actually bringing the bomb back over to B. Doesn't matter because Cold Zera just wants to fight outright inside the lobby. But SK now up 13-8. They're starting to steamroll their way through this half. They haven't dropped a round yet. So Luminosity have been really struggling here on this CT side to play themselves back into this game. As again, SK does a great job of throwing a lot of initial pressure on B, just kind of backing down, and then they kind of fake a bit of mid-control. Then they go back for a heavy B hit. They really kind of keep Luminosity guessing where the hit's going to be going and when it's going to happen.
Fallen. Going for mid-pick early. The smoke hampers him, but his teammates are able to get over boost, find the opener. Shiz with his deagle. Dirty peek Fallen as he just crouch peeks around that. Finds the player white box. Now LG are left scrambling. Two-man disadvantage. Yell gets caught. Role-playing as a turtle as he crouches around the corner. And now SK with 5 members against 2. Showtime Destiny looking to deal some damage, but the round, I think it's almost out of their grasps.
Yeah, SK has not let up on their T side. They've been finding most of the duels going in their favor all across the map. And to be fair, Luminosity really hasn't had a whole lot of money throughout this half to do a whole lot. They've only really had 2 nice full buys to play against, and it just hasn't really come up with much. But they'll be back onto a full buy this round. They will be having AWP in play as well. Oh, this will be kind of their last-ditch effort, right? Because if you lose this, next round you're going to have a way lesser buy, and SK's on map point. So this is basically their best bet at getting back into this game.
We'll see where Yell's going to be heading. He's number 7 on your minimap, going to be coming out towards mid. So he's going to, interestingly enough, go to sandbags with the op and just post on boost. But SK, look at this change in pace. They're immediately going to go out towards the A site, and Shiz push back, planning on playing more of a retake. But SK just storm their way into the site, find the frags, and there's 2 from Fallen. Just like that.
He's just entry fragging with an op as you would with an AK, basically. Just literally wrapping the site and finding close range op kills. Just insane stuff. What do you do against that?
You go on to the next map, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what you do. You try to negate Fallen, but how do you do that? You have to commit a lot more to a certain site and use your utility wisely. But LG are finding the frags. SK possibly overstepping in these post plants. And Fallen's kind of low. He's on 10, but he has the op quad. While Taco's going to hold for the cross, and Fallen's allowed to peek. He's got one, looking for the 4th. As Destiny has these players so low, that Molly will force Fallen out, actually, onto 5 HP. He's holding for the re-peek. Fallen! That was a flick if I've ever seen it. I think he was holding default and immediately transitions to Destiny. That's a hell of a round from Fallen.
He's pretty good with the op, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like he's a world-class opper and an in-game leader.
Again, like that's one of those strats where normally your op would kind of hang back at A main, your rifles would kind of go forward and go for entries like that, and your opper would kind of cover you. Maybe he keeps an angle on quad or the corner and the back right to kind of make sure someone steps out, he can kind of clear them for you, or maybe he kind of holds the angle on truck or something like that. But no, he literally just goes in there and takes close-range battles and wins them. It's so uncharacteristic of what would normally happen in an execute like that when an AWP is involved. And now SK are at map point. Luminosity, though, doing well to get aggressive at middle and at B lobby and actually get a couple of kills and actually get an early man advantage. So this is actually not a bad response from Luminosity in this round to give them some hope of keeping this game going a bit longer.
We haven't seen too much aggression from them, so it's the round to pull it out. On the opposite side of the map, Yell's going to find another one. So it leaves it all on Taco and for 2 capable players to bring this back for SK. They have a lot of ground to make up, with LG having 2 members towards this A site. That includes PKL and Shiz in sight heavily tagged. PKL's just going to wait. Utility gets used. SK seeing if anyone's going to face Shiz will. He'll drop, and it's all in PKL as rotations come through, but he's alone for a while. As he's just going to wait, listen to this player crossing sight. Taco's going to hold back. A second smoke's going to allow Fur to get there. Timing works out. At PKL gets the first. Fur wide swings. Now it's all in Fur in a 1v2. Top catwalk. He's looking for the challenge. Oh my goodness. How does Fur win that? And he's tapping away on Destiny. That came way too close after all the work Yell and PKL done there.
Definitely a nice attempt by Fur. I mean, he's basically playing into the fact that Luminosity are anticipating him to plant the bomb, right? Like, you know, Fur got that kill on Fork. He was inside the site with the bomb. You're thinking, okay, he's going to plant. We're going to have a 2-on-1 retake in our hands. But Fur uses that to his advantage, actually jumps up on balcony, gets a crazy angle on the guy playing in Z, and almost wins that because of it. Like, just doing something uncanny, unpredictable. That's like Fur's position where he thrives in chaos and doing these crazy antics, and he will lead the charge in this round. He's already trying to pick that middle on the L.
Fallen trying to find Destiny back checkers. Some shots come through, none of which will connect. But an opener for SK and a minute 30 on the clock for them to work with this. LG, we'll see how they're going to respond to this. They immediately send one player further forward in checkers, as the B player is just going to support him. So they're going to stick to the 2-on-2, so 2 on each site. Be what LG are feeling comfortable with, while Shiz pushes out Squeaky. I mean, find Taco cleanly and get back. That's good for LG. And he will be able to get back safely with SK having no one in A main. He's able to get out of there. Oh, it's about to get awkward. Counter boost for Showtime. He gets one, so another 1-for-1 trade. Again, you got to say in SK's favor. Destiny, though, will lock down vents. So a very round that's all over the place right now from frag-wise.
SK has kept the chaos levels up very high on their T side. They've done a lot of scrambling, a lot of like putting pressure somewhere, but then bouncing back somewhere else. You know, just a lot of crazy stuff. Just really putting their skill power out there, rather than doing like really disciplined CS. Now they're in a 2v3 on the speed bomb site. Destiny in a lot of trouble.
It's about to get pushed down while PK on Heaven's gonna try to help him the best he can, but they allow Fallen to get both with a Tech 9. They peek at different times. A double peek was what they attempted. Now it leaves it all on Shiz, who spots Fallen trying to plant the bomb. He gets out of there just in the nick of time to plant it back spam. And Shiz in a 1v2 to keep LG in their map pick. The first in a BO3. The Super Invitational. Fallen's back spam. Fallen gets spotted, and they're just going to play this out perfectly, peeking and holding, as SK will pick up the first map over LG on their pick. And although LG have moments of genius and moments of hitting some crazy shots, SK is just raw firepower on the T side really showed.
Yeah, they were just dominant. They only gave up one round that entire half. And again, they did it in a variety of ways. They did play from default and just kind of work things out and pick things. They had some really heavy 5-man B executes, which is a lot of utility on the site, and just kind of forcing people into awkward space and taking advantage of that. And Fallen had just some sick individual efforts at times with the AWP. That quad kill round was really nuts. That he had over taking close range fights in the A site, which is like just something he's so good at that not many AWP players can do. Like, his maneuverability, his movement is just so insane, and he finds ways to multi-frag in rounds where you really only should get one kill, maybe, or none, even, possibly. He just has an uncanny ability to multi-frag in situations like that, and just thriving in chaotic situations. And a lot of their players can do that. And that was a lot of the second half, right? It's a lot of chaotic rounds, and people like Fur Phelps and Fallen and Taco at times just really just relishing in it. And coming up with victories. So there you have it. I mean, kind of expected SK take a pretty dominant victory on the first map as they head into Mirage.
Mirage, the next stomping ground. We are going to head to a break shortly. But before we do, I'm sorry, I have to do it, Dust. I'm going to let you guys know, again, that Subaru is doing a massive PC giveaway. I'm only letting you know just for your own well-being, although, you know, if I didn't have to tell you, I would just enter myself and keep it low. But I'll let them know because I'm a nice guy like that, Dust. It's an awesome PC, valued over $2,000 as a whole, plus a bunch of mouse pads you can win. And why not? Let Subaru know what they're up to. Let them know what you want to see. Is Subaru want to get into esports. They want to let people know and show the great love that they can give. But they also need some feedback and help to grow. So if you tweet at Subaru, it's at Subaru_USA, and use the hashtag Subaru Invitational. Get the word out there. Let them know what's up. And give a chance to win a PC.
Love.
I got you, baby.
It's being there when you're needed most. Love is knowing
That's the one.
it was meant to be. And love always keeps you safe.
We're fine.
Love is why we built a car you can trust, now and for a long time to come. The all-new Subaru Impreza sedan and 5-door. A car you can love, no matter what road you're on. The Subaru Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Hey, bud, you need some help?
No, I'm good. Come on, Mom. I have to go.
We always trusted our Subaru Impreza would be there for him someday.
Hey, that's it.
We just didn't think someday would come so fast.
See you later, Mom.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Impreza, the longest-lasting vehicle in its class. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
É isso aí, rapaziada. Vamos ficar por aqui.